Good morning. Welcome to the TCG Pro Show Live. We're back again this morning with another fun episode. I'll be your host today. My name is Brad Williams, and I'm joined by my trusty co-host.
I'm Don Williams.
Who is also my dad. And this morning we have a special guest, the wizard and magician behind most of our video content and why we're able to do so much of what we're doing, Tyler Helms.
Good to be here.
Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, I'm excited.
So if this is your first time tuning in, the show is live, which means we want to hear from you. Make sure to comment below, ask your questions. We're going to be talking about video in this show, a little bit about what we do, how we do it, and maybe digging a little deeper about the perspective you take on this topic. So ask your questions. We will try to get to them in the show. And don't forget to follow us on social media. At The Closing Guys here on Facebook, at The Closing Guys on YouTube, and Brad The Closing Guy on Instagram. I'm blanking That's here. Right. And don't forget to check out our Media Hub, where we keep all of our video content, including all the past episodes of the show, theclosingguys.com/TCG, or you can just go to theclosingguys.com and you should be able to find your way there. So let's dive in today. Video is such a big topip.
Before you do that, let's let Tyler tell a little bit about himself.
Okay,
absolutely.
I get excited.
Absolutely.
Yeah, please do, Tyler.
Yeah. So my name is Tyler Helms, and I am a video marketer / videographer, I guess people say. And I started my business in February of last year. And I like to say that I run both a video production and a video marketing business, because not only do I deliver video files, as you know, but I also try to give as much as I can to where people can have it in a format that is available for all social media platforms, right? So I kind of got into all this because I was, I've been doing this since I was like 10 years old. And I've been around video, the whole time. But I was with the North Carolina Association of Realtors for 4.5 years as the IT director. And so I've been around the real estate industry, mainly started doing IT stuff, but I was in the communications department. So I got to touch a lot of the marketing stuff, and they had really rinky-dink tripods and one of those handy cams. And so I helped them kind of reinvent their video strategy and did 300 plus videos for them while I was there. So I was the video guy, the audio guy, AV guy. If the power went out, they all looked at me because I can't control that. But yeah, so that was kind of the inspiration. Then last year, I split off and did my own thing, and I really mainly focused on working with people, realtors and real estate agents, but also people that touch the real estate industry. So businesses like you guys who help, refer out, service pros to realtors. And that really has, I think, diversified the way that I approach, some of the content that I do. So there's a lot of different things you can do. I went into it thinking mainly it's going to be real estate videos, listings and, drone stuff. But really it's turned into kind of this multimedia content, putting stuff out kind of like Gary Vee style. So,
yeah, we all like Gary Vee.
Oh yeah, man. So that's kind of what brought me here today, and I'm excited to be with you guys here.
Yeah, I say all the time that I want to be the Gary Vee of what we do, the content kings of our niche. So we actually found you when we saw some of the videos you did for a local realtor group, the Ingram Group, and they had done these really cool videos, and one of them was of Kernersville, our local town here, and it was a well produced thing, and it was just so interesting. And so everything I had seen in real estate up to that point was, like you said, listing videos.
Yep.
Never seen anything where somebody had taken a creative look like that. Mm-hmm. And we reached out, and the rest is history.
That's
I guess
right,
you
man.
could say.
That's right.
You really revolutionized our business. When we first started The Closing Guys, we haven't told this story on camera. When we first started this, we've always been trying to be a bridge between service providers and realtors, because the realtors were the referring source to clients, but between good service providers and clients. And we had ideas about how we were going to do that, but the relationship we've had with you and the integration of the mass integration of video into that process has dramatically changed it. And now we've found that so many of these guys have a voice and a message that needs to get out there. And it's like we've kind of shifted our perspective a little bit to it's as much about what they have to say and what they know as just referring them for work. And it's really cool. And if it wasn't for video, that wouldn't be possible. So I think that kind of is a good segue into, this first topic here. And that is video. Video is not just promotional, is it?
Absolutely. I think the approach that we took was how can we add value to people that are coming into your service, right? And so many people think, oh, video, it's going to cost, an arm and a leg and everything. Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you really wanted to produce video, you have a smartphone that can do that for you if you really wanted to do it. So, I think a lot of people are thinking if I want a high production video quality, it's going to cost a lot of money. But the reality is, when you're making content, not everything has to be like super polished. It doesn't have to be TV ready or anything. When you think of TV ready stuff, those are like your 30-second commercials, things that are like, high end. That's going to cost a lot of money because they're going off a certain message. But really what we've seen and stuff is that being able to take like raw, natural, authentic stuff and turn it into, put a little bit of polish on it and spin, it not only adds value, but it's telling a story sometimes, and it's also spreading knowledge. And with this mindset, I think that people have is that, okay, every single video I do is promotional, right? And so people are like, okay, how am I going to invest in a video and what's going to be my return on investment? Well, like anything, a video is not going to make you money. It's not going to go viral, like these videos kind of used to on YouTube. The fact of the matter is there are videos of like puppies that are getting millions and like billions of views, and then people are sitting here like, why is my video when I'm just like on camera the entire time talking for 5 minutes? Yeah, and 2 people have seen it. I think that you have to put out valuable content. And I think that starts with kind of what we do is not necessarily put on social media. It's not put out there and promoted. All that. It's we take maybe some clips out of that to do it, but the general idea is that all that stuff is value for your clients, for the people that are subscribing to the service and the people that are using your service. And I think that you need to kind of take a step back and think when you're doing your video, a lot of these can fit into your funnel and your business system. Like, for example, if you are trying to change your oil for your car, you can go to YouTube and type in not just how to change an oil in a car, but how to change your oil in a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. Like, it's like very niche, right? So I think your goal is like, and as a, an owner at the time, that's what I did when I had my 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. As an owner, that's super valuable and helpful for me. Like that deserves a like or a subscribe, on the YouTube channel. Right. Whereas like, if it's just, content that I don't really want to see, I'm just going to blow past it. Mm-hmm. But if you can have niche, content like that, I mean, that could be someone holding up a cell phone. But what you're trying to do is even if that person's holding up a cell phone, you can see every step that they take to actually change the oil in the 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee, where you're getting a visual as you're doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be professionally produced or anything like that. I think that is the goal of what your video should accomplish. Mm-hmm.
And when you're speaking to somebody, that's anybody that wants to put out content for whatever it is they do, right? Whether it's a realtor or any other profession that applies to, right? It can be simple. It can be on your phone. It can be simple, but it needs to have some interest to it, right? Yeah. Well, you think about it, that's the one thing is we're exposed to so much marketing message, right? So much commercial everywhere, commercial. And I think it's worth thinking about, like, if you were thinking about buying a product, the first thing you want to see is really not the commercial from the person selling it. That's not what you want. You want to maybe see a review or some kind of overview about the concept of it. You want value. Mm-hmm. It's that value thing. So video is a way to put value out there, right?
Absolutely. And when you say that, too, I'm thinking about that YouTube video, the 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Man, it's shot like right on that camera. And for me, that was, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Well, now everyone's like, okay, I got to get on my content game. I got to get on my video game, right? So now where there was 1 or 2 of those videos, now you may see a few car dealerships that are putting out videos like for each of these models, right? And so the space is getting a little crowded. So even then you have to kind of find a way to differentiate yourself. And I think that, putting that out there for YouTube and being able to find it is great, but I think it also goes even further down your funnel where you start including these videos in your email marketing. You start putting it in your, your Facebook ads and stuff, and start really honing in and targeting on the right audience, so that you can provide value not only for people that are searching for that content, but for the people that you actually have as clients and leads in your database. Like, I think you can utilize your database and your email marketing and your Facebook advertising and everything to your advantage with these videos. And I don't really think it stops with promotional stuff or this educational stuff. I think, how do you retain clients? Right? Like, once you have a client, what's the next step? Like, what are you doing? And I think that the way I see it is, what are your top 5 questions from your clients? Answer those on video, walk them through your service or your product, and really tell them what the next step is, how to best utilize your product.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think when you do that, you're adding more value to them to where they can say, oh yeah, there's a video library of how I can, walk through how to properly use this product or service to the most effective, way for me. You know what I mean?
So let's kind of make this practical here. So
yeah.
I've had a construction business for the last 30 years. And
sure.
to say I want to market my construction business to new clients.
Yeah.
In the past, I've always thought, well, then I need to tell them what sets me apart, as opposed to what you're saying, to educate them on how my product or how to reach them. So kind of tell us what you would think for a construction company, some of the things that I could do to market.
Yeah. So for construction, really, when you talk about separating yourself, the competitive advantage, I think doing these beyond videos with your clients would be a great place to start. You don't necessarily have to go straight to promotion. You don't have to be like, okay, this is how I'm different, and then blast it out on YouTube or Facebook and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if these people are coming to you, and you want to have a good start, well, having a good positive customer experience after you get them as a client, and then you send them on the journey, and then they're done with you. Your goal here is to get a referral, right, and get a nice review, sure. And then you could possibly turn that into a testimonial, and so that testimonial sells your business without you having to be on screen selling your business.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there may be a few people doing this, but from what I've seen, everyone's really pushing their marketing in. If it is video, it is commercial, it's promotional. I mean, a lot of the stuff you can't really see behind the scenes, but if you have a list of okay, I've got this client, here's the next step. I send them this video this week or this video the next week. As they go through the stages, right? Then you walk them through the process, make it a nice customer experience. You can always come back and say, hey, let's get that client testimonial. And then that's what you can start blasting out. I think people put their marketing dollars straight in promotional. They go straight to promotional, and then they'll do stuff like put an ad above a urinal at a bar, or they'll put it in, they'll say, oh God, we got to get that billboard over here, and it's but the best thing about video and online marketing is that a lot of that stuff you can track, it's really, really hard to say, oh man, there were 6 drunk dudes that saw that, that ad above the urinal, that little ad.
Is that really where you want your business?
Exactly. Is that the best place? And I think people talk about, return on investment. With video, it's your video is not going to make you money. Just like that ad above the urinal is not going to make you any money. Ultimately, you're the one that's got to sell the business. That's the avenue to get you there. But I think with video, what you're trying to do is 3 things. You're trying to entertain, you're trying to educate, and you're trying to impact people. I think educate is a big part because people need to be told what to do. Like especially when you have a client, and just like we said, trying to get them to go through that journey and tell them what's next. People need to know, okay, well, how do I, use this effectively? Or, people may get stuck and say, well, I don't know how to do this, right? And the more that you do this, the more videos you can make, because you'll get more questions and you'll get more people that are asking for certain content, right? And you're able to to do that.
Exactly. I love what you just said there. It's worth repeating. The video, and this applies to any content that you're putting out there, should educate, entertain, or impact people. And that should be in your mind when you're creating something. So let's talk a little bit. I think a lot of our audience is in the real estate industry and realtor base. So let's talk about that client experience, and let's just talk about something that they can do. I think we could kind of give them a how-to of how we approach that, and that's something they can take. And if they want to do that on their own, then great. Yeah. So client enters the process, right? Mm-hmm. So at that point, you have a client in the process, and whether they're a buyer or seller, and the information can be different. These are unique. But this is a point where you can interject video content, whether something you do, something one of your professional partners does, and it helps walk them through the process. And that doesn't, like you said, it doesn't make you money.
Right.
But the idea is that if you make the process smoother and more comfortable, and you take away people's fears, and you give them confidence and competence in what they're doing, they get to the end of the process and they're going to think, man, this was really great. And what's the best way to build your business is referrals, right?
Right. Yep.
It's especially in real estate or construction. Most of the business is not going to come from the billboard.
Right.
We know some realtors that have billboards in the area. I don't think anybody's calling off of them.
I know.
Now, that's awareness, right?
Yeah.
That's at the very top of the funnel. This person exists.
Yep.
But it's going to be your friend or the person you work with that says, they really took care of me. They really helped walk me through that whole process. They made it smooth for me. So how can video do that in the client experience? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. I mean, so even going beyond, I think we kind of touched on it too, a good place to start. Mark Saunders says this. I get to film him a lot. Mark Saunders is a realtor out of Winston-Salem, and he's an educator. And he said, take your top 5 most frequently asked questions and put them on video. Just answer them. You just say, here's a question, here's your answer, right? And so the next time that someone emails you with that question, you can have your regular canned response in text form, but you also have that form in video, which gives you both audio and a visual, right? And so really you just send it, boom, you got your canned response email, I get this question, it's out. Then you're not having to spend so much time answering emails and really fostering it. Another good example is realtors have a lot of forms. And as a buyer, like when I just, sold my house, I don't know what these forms mean, and I'm sure they have to go over it and explain it and talk to people, have a phone call, take 15 minutes out of their day to walk them through it. Why not just have a video of you just walking through step by step every part of that form, and you send that over and you say, hey, look this over. If you have any questions as you're going through the form, please don't hesitate to call me. You know what I mean? That saves you a lot of time, gives you a personal touch because you're still on video. It's just like something simple like that. And then I think beyond that process, right? Going out through the client experience, real estate is it's all about life events, and there's a lot of emotion, I feel like, that goes into buying and selling, homes. As a seller and a buyer, a seller, it's hard to detach yourself maybe from that memory of that house, or, as a buyer, it could be, the next chapter of your life. I think capturing those stories and those emotions on camera through a video testimonial just speaks for itself. Storytelling, I think that kind of hits on the impact that we were talking about.
Right.
Where, you're humanizing the real estate process. It's not making it a numbers game. It's making it an emotional game. You know what I mean?
And at the end of the day, that's capturing the real reality of that process.
Correct.
As it really is.
Yeah, and what I see with that is if you've captured that and you show it to another client, they can see, oh, well, it's normal to go through this emotion. I'm not, this is not a reason to pull back. This is normal. Other people experience the same things.
Yeah. And there's a great way to segment all that too. I mean, you basically have your first time home buyers. You have your people that are looking to, upgrade their house. You got people that are getting bigger families. You got people that are looking to downsize. I mean, if you can segment these people into audiences and especially target them in your email marketing and your Facebook advertising and everything, then, if you had video testimonials for each, hit that audience with that particular testimonial. If it's one with a family that just, expanded and got a new home and you put them on a video testimonial, send that to people that are in that exact demographic so that they can resonate and really, understand, because that they're in that season of life, and they can totally relate to it. And so that may, influence, it could give them kind of a, nudge. We're just getting the opportunity to be in front of them. That's all this is whenever you're doing marketing and awareness and everything. You're giving yourself the opportunity to put it in there, right? And I think that doing that through video is better than doing that through copy in an email, just text.
Well, you look at, there's a lot of things to think about here. One, statistics say the open rates for email are like in the single digits, low single digits. If you put video on it, it jumps up to the 20 to 30%.
Right.
So you put a video in an email to somebody, a whole lot better chance they're going to open it. That's people that are on your subscriber list. That's not, And second, the world watches video. We've proven that 500 million hours are consumed daily on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how many videos go live on YouTube a day? It's like 1 million or something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Huge amount. In a couple of years, 80% of the internet as a whole, all 80% of internet traffic is going to be video. And I don't want to put out negative statistics out there, but the truth is a pretty large majority of Americans are illiterate.
Yeah.
Which means that they're going to do a whole lot better watching something to intake the information if you put it on words.
Yeah, people will read a soundbite, but as far as any lengthy message that you want to convey, it needs to be in a video to keep their attention, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and the main thing too is it has to be something that they want to watch. You know what I mean?
There you go.
We try to crowd so many people, and email is so bad with this too. People don't want to be on email. People have to be on email.
Yeah, they
People
don't hang out there.
Right. People want to be on social media. That's their space to get away. So I think the ability, one, that social media is free is just incredible. And then to be in front of someone you can just pay $5-10 and actually target them directly. Real estate is a little bit different, with, some fair housing stuff that's going on with advertising. But for the most part, it can be pretty general. But yeah, I think the main thing is, you want to hit something that people are going to resonate with.
Right.
And a lot of times it's got to be niche based. I hear this so many times. People are like, oh, I need to get, 1,000 followers or 1,000 likes on my post, Well, you could get you're like, I see so many people on Instagram that have like 30,000 followers and like 50 likes on a post.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you look at the ratio, it's not right. I would rather have 10 people and 9 out of 10 people like the post versus 100 and 9 out of 100 like it, because that means that the effectiveness has gone that way. I'm hitting the right niche, the right target. And a lot of times you're going to find that, having that low subscriber but high engagement is much better than having just a whole general, modge podge of things. So I think having a diverse amount of content and direct niches.
I don't know if people watching this are picking up on the value of what you've just said, but that is the future of social media marketing, is understanding the difference between followers and valuable engagement. I listened to a guy talk about the other day, and he said, if all the comments you get are heart eye emojis, is that really anyone that's going to buy your product or the product you're endorsing?
No, not at all.
But you have less followers, but yet the people are asking questions, detailed questions about the content you put out there. If you're a videographer, they're asking about your camera equipment or something like that. That's value. That's value. So what you just told people is, if people could grab that and then use it, it's huge. It will be huge as we move forward into the future of that. And the last point I wanted to make about video in general is the beauty of it is you get to make it one time and then it goes to work for you over and over and over again.
Great point.
Absolutely. Another thing too is we've kind of hit on education and impact. I want to hit the entertainment side.
Okay.
So the entertainment side of it is kind of the tougher part. It's where you have to be a little bit more creative. So like you said with the Ingram Group, you saw a video we did on Kernersville. Well, the idea was not to just go out and film Kernersville. The idea was to use that video of where we showed local businesses in Kernersville, some of the favorite hot spots, and be able to send that to somebody who may not know Kernersville, who may be a buyer coming into the area who wants to know a little bit more about the area that they're going to buy a house in, and so you can send that video and say, okay, well, here are a few of our favorite places to go and why, and so the goal there is not just to, because I had someone, that I worked with who, didn't understand that, they said, oh, how is this going to make me money? How is this going to do anything? And they just didn't even, post video. I'm like, well, this is going to take time, consistency, and everything. You need to build yourself up to where you're the person for that niche. And I like to call this the horse realtor, right? So the horse realtor is somebody who is a realtor by day, but their hobby is they love horses, right? So they love horseback riding and everything. Mm-hmm. So if you, as a realtor, as a horse realtor, if you go to everywhere around the Triad, and maybe not even the Triad, could just be, Greensboro or Winston or whatever, and you're going around and you are interviewing every place that does horseback riding, every barn, every place that involves like something with horses, like a place that offers, organic horse, feed or whatever, you know what I mean? Places like that. And you're putting this out and you're putting that and pushing that to people whose interests are horseback riding and horses. You're going to get pretty good engagement. And then what's going to happen when they say, oh man, I'm looking for a realtor who can help me locate a place where I can move my horse, right? Who are they going to call?
The horse realtor.
Joe Schmo or the horse realtor? Because the horse realtor can
he
talk, identifies with that person. So how can you take something that you love and apply it with something that you do as your day job? And I think that it's a cool way to blend the two, because one, you're getting to do your hobby kind of with your work, but you also
car
get to meet
show
some
coming
cool.
up.
There you go. Yeah. So I mean, there's definitely ways to incorporate these things and make it interesting. The main thing is you have to keep it niched. You cannot go so broad to where you're losing everybody. You know what I mean?
The difference between the shotgun and the rifle when it comes to your marketing efforts. I mean, that
exactly.
I heard, it's that old analogy, if you're out there and you're hunting and you're like quail hunting and 100 of them fly up in the sky, well, most people aren't going to hit one, even though there's 100 targets, because they struggle to laser in and focus on one target. And that is hugely, hugely valuable. You've really given some great advice on the show. I don't know how we're doing on time here. I'm not real. We do have a little bit more time. So if you are a realtor, and to kind of bring this back around a little bit, if you are a realtor and you want to create a better client experience and you want to dive deeper and you like what Tyler's been saying and this stuff makes sense to you, and I know what people say, I know the excuse, I hear it, I don't have time. I don't have time to put all that together. I don't really know how to put all that together. You do have to learn how to do some of it. You do have to learn how to do the behind the scenes. I was hoping we could walk through a full funnel here, but we'll have to do that on another episode. But I do want some help with that client experience. Well, you can dive deeper with us, with what you're doing. You can work with Tyler and with the closing guys. What we're offering, we're basically putting together an opportunity to connect knowledge. We like to focus on all your supporting businesses because we think that a lot of people that have a lot of information your clients could really benefit from. And you're connecting them anyway as a realtor. And so we're putting together these opportunities where we're putting together these portals. I think that's what we're calling it. But essentially what it is a very simple, easy to digest online course of videos for your clients to go through while they're in the process. And you can select that for how you want. I think there's tons of value on the buying side. So, you have a buyer, right? They've found a house, and now comes the tough part. If you're a realtor, you know this. Now comes the tough part. You're going under due diligence. The clock is ticking towards closing, and all these things need to be done, and you have to interact with all these people. And as home inspectors, we know that people don't know what to expect. They don't know the ins and the outs of the things they have to do. They show up to the home inspection. They're not really sure what's going to happen. And so we're basically helping you guys put together opportunities to basically a resource for your clients to log on to and to get that client experience by learning about this is this step and then this is this step and you watch this video and here's this download and this is this step. You want to talk a little bit about what we're doing with that?
Yeah, so I think having the voice of your service pros, and not just any pro, your service pro, the ones that you like to do. I think it's somewhat cross promotional in a way because it's helping their business as well, but they're also spreading their knowledge, and they're spreading their expertise and showing and making you look good. Honestly, I think, to have someone that can do that and really know what they're talking about, know what they're doing, and provide that, great customer experience, I think that's great, but it's tough to really evaluate that until, you've worked with them. And I think having a video of them kind of talking about it not only familiarizes them with the person, but it lets them kind of get to know them, a little bit before they actually do business with them.
Yeah, we say what a better way to introduce you. Just like you might put a promotional video out or something of you that introduces you. So you're the horse realtor, and you're putting out videos of you doing. People are getting to know you, and that's the real key to what makes all this, in my opinion, valuable. Is you're getting to know. So you're familiarizing. I like them. They're like me. I like them, and you can do that with the pros that you're putting in contact with your clients, and that's going to raise that comfort level, right? Because, I mean, if you're in this industry and you watch people going through this process, you know that fear is a very dominant emotion that people face, uncertainty, that, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing in this period of time, especially once they make a decision, right? They're like, I want this house. And then it all starts to crumble a little bit. And, this is what we're basically saying is it's a great way. Video is a great way to do that. And, more power to people want to go out there and do it on their own. I mean, you can do it, right? You can do this on your own. But if you want to dive deeper with us and I don't have time for that. I don't have time to put that together, but I would love to have that resource. We can help you out with that kind of thing. So you can go to theclosingguys.com to learn more about our resource and contact us. We're happy to do a consultation and talk about how you want to use video in your business and give you the best advice that we have. We love to share information and absolutely free of charge. Go to theclosingguys.com, check out our media hub. We have this expert information out there, and the whole idea is it's not just for you to digest. Share it with your clients, share it with people, and use it to assert yourself as the expert who's putting out quality information. We're making it for you guys to use. It doesn't, it's out there. So, I think that's kind of the message I want to have. Do you anything you want to add, Dan?
Well, I can just think of a bunch of more questions. I'm sure you do too, but we're out of time. So.
Yeah. I would, just to close, thank you guys for having me, by the way. But what you guys are doing is you're providing a service that alleviates people from, having to do this themselves. You're giving them a service that they can showcase not only themselves as a business, but also the people that they work with. And just, it goes with that testimonial, it sells without selling. You know what I mean? So I think what you guys are doing is great.
Thank you.
I'm excited to keep doing some more.
Yep.
Yeah,
thanks, Tom.
awesome. So thanks for tuning in today to the live show. We will be back next week with some more awesome real estate related and professional related content. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, The Closing Guys. Follow us on Instagram. We put out stuff every single day. Brad, The Closing Guy.
How they can contact Tyler.
And I'm getting instruction from the producer here. Brad, The Closing Guy on Instagram. Check out our media hub. We have all this awesome content we want you guys to be able to learn from. theclosingguys.com/TCG. And Tyler, how do they get up with you?
So my website is tylerhelmscreative.com. And you can look me up on Facebook, Tyler Helms Creative, Instagram at Tyler Helms Creative. And if you ever wanted to see any more about me speaking or anything, I do speak sometimes at local associations. I've spoke at High Point, Winston, Greensboro, and even the Outer Banks. So I do a lot of that stuff. I'll just love talking about this stuff. And literally, like we could talk about this all day.
I wish the show was longer than 30 minutes. But thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Thank you.